To his chagrin, Austin Ekeler finds out there's just not a trade market for running backs. Meanwhile, over with the Rams, it's Aaron Donald versus everybody. And the Lakers are tap dancing around LeBron James' injury status. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it's March 20th, 2023. I am back in Portland, Oregon, trying to make a little extra money in Joe Biden's America. Hey, if you guys are in LA, can I level with you about Portland for a moment? A lot of people crap on LA for the 10 cities. And yeah, it looks bad, smells pretty bad. It's got nothing on Portland, Oregon. This place looks like a tornado ripped through a camping world and then God emptied an ocean of urine all over the city. So LA, trust me, y'all better off than coming up to this place. Meanwhile, let's talk some LA sports. If you like the content we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Before we go through the news and notes, look at the scoreboard. You know, the Lakers, they were having some pretty tough times. But when things are bleakest, when it's darkest just before the dawn, and you need a hero, the Lakers knew who to call. Austin Reeves? Really? They did. He scored 35. It's a career high. Lakers 111, Orlando 105. Meanwhile, up here, oddly enough, Paul George scores 29 points. Kawhi Leonard adds 24. Clippers 117, Portland 102. The Clippers have won 5 of their last 6. Meanwhile, tonight in the NHL, Calgary's going to play at the Kings, 7:30. And by the way, side note, UCLA knows who their opponent is in the Sweet 16. On Thursday night, they will be playing Gonzaga, 6:45. Vegas, baby. Road trip. So, you remember how Chargers running back Austin Ekeler, how he wasn't all that happy with the way his contract negotiation was going with the Chargers, you know, and he was thinking maybe the grass is greener on the other side? Yeah, he's not finding any grass at all on the other side. He's just finding tumbleweeds and dirt and death and the end of his career if he continues to piss off the Chargers, frankly. Now, the thing with the Chargers, they're trying to probably save money, in my opinion, to basically shovel everything they can in Justin Herbert's bank account. And it makes sense. Justin Herbert is a franchise quarterback. I don't even know if there's such a thing as a franchise running back anymore. Even Derrick Henry isn't necessarily a franchise running back. And he's terrific. But Austin Ekeler, he got annoyed. He asked permission to seek a trade, and he's learning that he just doesn't really have a market. The top 3 free agent running backs in the NFL, when they signed for a number that's comparable to what Ekeler would get if he stays in Los Angeles with the Bolts. Even one running back that went to the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles is making comparable money to Austin Ekeler. So he's not looking, they're just basically nobody is cashing in if you're a running back. And neither is Ekeler. So there's a really good chance he's going to have to come crawling back with his helmet in his hands. One person who doesn't fancy crawling back to the Chargers is offensive lineman Storm Norton. He is signed with the New Orleans Saints. Now, you might recall last year he was in the running for a starting gig at right tackle. He lost the gig to Trey Pipkins. Now, Norton did wind up playing in 12 games because the Chargers' offensive line was just destroyed with injuries for a good chunk of the year. However, the impact on his career was felt. He once played 90% of the Chargers' offensive snaps. That was literally 2 years ago, 2021. Last year, 10%. So now he's going off to New Orleans, where he has to protect Derek Carr. Yikes. Aaron Donald stands alone. And this is making an interesting question for the Rams defense in 2023. The Rams defense for the entirety of Aaron Donald's career, and that includes going back to St. Louis, has never been hot garbage. Say what you want about the tail end of the St. Louis Rams. They had no quarterback. They had no idea how to get the ball to the end zone, but their defensive line was fierce. And that Aaron Donald was obviously an anchor to that. So the defense was never terrible in his career. But now they have lost 9 regulars. They've either left via trade, i.e. Jalen Ramsey, or they have left being cut, like a Bobby Wagner, or the rest have left via free agency. Consider the defensive line alone for the Rams defense next year. There's no Greg Gaines. He signed a couple of days ago with Tampa Bay. Very likely no A'Shawn Robinson. He was supposed to be more valuable than Greg Gaines. It's pretty much Aaron Donald. And if Aaron Donald were injured, that would by far be the worst defensive line in the NFL. There's no question in my mind. Maybe, by the way, at linebacker, does it get any better? Maybe you like Ernest Jones. Maybe you like edge rusher Michael Hecht. But do you really like them that much to say linebacker is a strength? What about defensive back? That is totally cringe. It doesn't matter if it's cornerback or safety. So, yeah, there's only 2 players on the Rams' potential starting defense that played more than 50% of the snaps last year. One of them would be Aaron Donald, and the other would be Ernest Jones. So if you're a Rams fan, your defense is going to be right down there with, I don't know, UCLA and USC's. It's not looking good. Jalen Ramsey, meanwhile, was introduced to the Miami press, and he was quite complimentary, quite conciliatory to the Rams. He lauded multiple teammates and coaches, said it was like a family out in LA. Having said that, he also added that Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel and his ridiculous beard, quote, keeps telling me that he's going to be the best head coach I've ever had. He's nudging Sean McVay on that a little because Sean was great in LA. It's going to be tough because Sean McVay's the man, unquote. And you know what? Ramsey's right. Don't get me wrong. There's no question that the Dolphins have talent. And I'm not saying that McDaniel is a bad coach. But you're not better than Sean McVay. Tamp it down, dude. You're not that good. From the Department of Definite Maybes, Lakers coach Darvin Ham says he expects LeBron James to return this season. Big whoop. That doesn't mean he is returning. It's a hope. It's a prayer. I'd like LeBron to be back. He's been out for almost a month. Now, to be clear, the Lakers have gone 7-6 without him since he hurt his foot in Dallas. The exact quote from Ham is that they, quote, anticipate him coming back at some point, unquote. Anticipate, not know, anticipate him coming back. When? At some point. What does that even mean? That is the emptiest quote I've ever read that's the emptiest quote I've read in a long time. If you want to parse Ham's words, you go right ahead. This update is as empty as any water reservoir in California. That's all I'm saying right now, man. That's just terrible news. The Athletic's Jovan Buha says that the Lakers are likely to offer Rui Hachimura about $10 million a year. It could be either $10 million, like a 2-year, $20 million contract, or a 3-year, $30 million contract. Having said that, if another team makes a bigger offer, they are willing to walk away. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski reported at the time that LA traded for him that they did want to extend Hachimura. But if you look at the team, if you've been watching them, he hasn't stunk up the joint, but he hasn't exactly tried to stake his claim into the starting lineup either. He's just been kind of okay, kind of there. Now, the Lakers are going to have a lot of cap room. Right now, they only have 4 players who are definitely on the books for next year. That would be LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Max Christie. Having said that, a lot of cap space, a lot of players you got to sign. So there's that. The LA Galaxy are winless through their first 3 games of the season for the first time since 2009, but the Blue and Gold have made changes over the weekend. They have added Julian Audi, a 19-year-old Argentine. Now, the idea appears to be that as soon as Audi is available, they would basically just move Efrain Alvarez out eventually. Probably out to the bench, to be clear. And if you saw that Vancouver match over the weekend, you probably can't wait for the future to get here soon enough. Alvarez got burned. And I don't mean original recipe burning, I mean extra crispy burning on the goal that the Whitecaps scored. Alvarez didn't even look. And this dude just ran right past him and scored the goal. The Galaxy have also added to the front office a former LAFC assistant GM, Will Kuntz. Now, Kuntz had been with LAFC since 2017. Galaxy fans love the move. They love the move for a variety of reasons. They think it's going to be a buffer of some sort in the front office from all the profound ineptitude of Chris Klein. And they also like the fact that, in a sense, they're putting a thumb to the eye of LAFC. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I always try to keep it real with everybody, whether you're an LAFC supporter or a Galaxy supporter. The proof will be in the pudding. Why? Because no matter who is in that front office, Chris Klein is still pulling the strings. He's going to be the one who has the final thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Because if you recall, when the Galaxy hired Greg Vanney as a manager, everyone's like, that's it. That's the one man who is going to solve everything with the Galaxy and finally have enough gravitas to be a buffer between him and Chris Klein and his buffoonery. And where are the Galaxy now? So no, I'm not automatically going to say that Mr. Kuntz is going to cure the Galaxy when the disease of Chris Klein is still permeating throughout their system. I can't go there. Former Dodger and evermore opponent to Dodger fans, Josh Reddick, has retired. Reddick played 13 years. He thanked the Dodgers on social media. Keep in mind, he now has more time to pursue his other interests in life, and that would be trolling Dodger fans by claiming that the Astros title is legitimate. See, he left the Dodgers and joined the Houston Astros, and the best year that he ever had, that was the year that the Astros cheated their way to the title. He was a direct beneficiary of trash can banging, the sign stealing scandal. Max Muncy, by the way, also says his swing feels very good, very close to how it was before. We are trying to mimic the moves from 2021, unquote. Now keep in mind, he blasted out his elbow at the end of 2021. He struggled mightily last year. So Muncy, if this is something to be believed, might be a welcome addition to a Dodgers lineup that is, frankly, they thought they had the lineup of all time last year, and it didn't turn out to be that way. So this might be an upgrade for them. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Do you think there actually is a taker for Austin Ekeler? How will the Rams survive on defense when it's Aaron Donald and 10 random guys in blue and gold jerseys? And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corta El Queso production. Take care.